January 25th, 2006. In London, a landlord finally made a decision he had been putting off for a long time. There had been no response from the tenant inside the apartment. No calls, no answers. So he forced the door open. What he would find later became one of the most tragic and unsettling stories from the modern urban life. Joyce Carol Vincent was a woman living alone in London, quiet, private, independent. Over time, she slowly began slipping out of touch with the people around her. Friends heard from her less and less. Calls went unanswered. Messages were never returned. And eventually, the silence became normal. It's believed Joyce passed away sometime in late 2003, but her body was not discovered till years later. For almost 3 years, she laid inside her apartment, undisturbed, unnoticed, and completely alone. Outside, life continued as usual. People went to work. Neighbors came and went. Seasons changed. Inside that apartment, time stopped. When the landlord entered, Joyce was found sitting on the sofa. The television was still on standby, as if she had simply paused it. Nearby were Christmas presents, wrapped, unopened. They had been waiting on someone who would never return. One of the most disturbing parts of this story is not how Joyce died, but how long it took for anyone to notice that she was gone. Her rent continued to be paid through housing benefits. There was no overdue notices, no complaints, no reason on paper to check in. So the system kept working, even though the person it was meant to support no longer could. But police later confirmed that Joyce had died from natural causes, most likely a sudden asthma attack while she was watching TV. There was no struggle, no evidence of foul play, no mystery surrounding the cause of death, just a moment where her life quietly ended, and no one was there to see it. As days turned into months, and months turned into years, calls to Joyce went unanswered. Friends assumed she was busy, or distant, or had simply moved on. Even her own parents believed she might be upset with them. They thought the silence was emotional, not final, and so no one pushed harder, no one showed up, no one checked. Joyce Carol Vincent didn't disappear in the middle of nowhere. She disappeared in one of the most busiest cities in the world, surrounded by millions of people, living among others, yet completely alone. Her story forces us to confront something uncomfortable. How easy it is in modern life for someone to vanish without anyone realizing. This isn't just a story about death, it's a story about isolation, about assumptions, about how silence can be mistaken for choice. It reminds us how fragile human connection can be and how easily it can break without us noticing. For almost 3 years, nobody checked on Joyce Carol Vincent, and by the time someone did, it was far too late.